Good afternoon, YouTube. I would say normally morning, but this isn't morning. Hi, I am Z James. This is Z32 Workshop. Its name might change here, I'm not sure, but it's Z32 Workshop at the moment. Let's see here. What is today? Today is another project preview. As you can see, I'm getting my garage cleaned up the moment behind me. I've got stuff cleaned up. I'm in the process of doing a spring clean sale type of thing, where I am basically digging out all the old stuff I buried for wintertime, like a squirrel, digging it all back out so I can get rid of it, get it out of here. That being said, I will be selling my TT rear subframe with the axles and the diff and all that because I don't need it, because the big news there is I have figured out, well, other people already knew, but I just learned, I can use an Infinity Q45 rear end from 1998 to 2003, somewhere in there. I gotta look it up a little more, but it's the same rear end that's in the NA, so it's a pretty stout rear end. The big difference is you go from 408 gears to 367s, which is a better highway gear. I actually might do that prior to doing turbo. To be honest with you, I just don't like the highway speed. It's killing me. Now, I know that's not going to help me during autocross because the 408s are fantastic there, but it does give me a better top end and second gear, because there are a few of events where I'll wrap out second gear and I'm not going to shift because it's not worth it. The shifting by the time it takes it down. So it's a long-term process. I need to look for one of those, see if I can find one in good shape, and then do a swap on it, which will be great time to upgrade the bushings around the differential to which would be energy suspension components. So that's a small update for maybe later this year. I just need to dig them out and find them. It's a little harder to come by. Not say harder to come by. I just need to find one that's local. I can get it out of a junkyard and swipe it and use it, because that's what I want to use. Let's see, what else is going on? I haven't really started the process of working the car yet. It's finally warmed up here, lightly. As I still I'm wearing a stocking cap. It's in the 40s, 50s. We get into the 60s. It's, it's spring. So big fluctuations there. But the reason I wanted to say preview is the stuff I've just ordered and came in. Not everything's in. I've got a few things on back order that's coming in. But let me show you what I got right now. I ordered up, and most of these components came from Concept Z Performance. Great website, great guys, help me out doing stuff. Once again, they're not a sponsor. They don't do anything for me. I buy it myself because that's what I'm choosing for. I actually picked up their suspension components on bushings for the steering rack. And I got these because right now I know they're probably shot in my steering rack. So that's what I'm doing for at least the steering components up front, is getting them out. You can do that while it's in the car, and I'm going to try doing that here. That may be more of a midsummer project. It's not high on my list to do, but I wanted to get the stuff, at least get it on the shelf that I know I could use it for and what to use them on. The other components I've got, and I bought two of these. Anyone who's got a convertible will know what these are. I didn't realize mine were gone. I wasn't really paying attention until I tore apart my parts car, but they're these. And these are what latch into. You come in, your top sits in these. There's pegs that help center it, hold it there for clamping. It still clamps. It's just these are better. Z1 makes replacements. Concept Z sells them. I don't know if they're the same thing or not, but nice high quality plastic compared to the Vertil stuff. I bought two of these, so I'll show you guys how to replace those. So anyone who's got a convertible top will find that useful and informative, just because I'll have to go through taking the A-pillar apart to get access to them, which I haven't done because the parts car didn't have an A-pillar, so I got to figure out how to tear those apart without wrecking them. Next thing, once again, two of those. Next thing that's up is I'm going to do a small shifter upgrade. I'm going to go to, hang on, pardon this everybody. I picked up, because I wanted to splurge a little bit, I picked up this, Speed Z's solid shifter mounts. Instead of being, so you'll have your shifter here. I'm going to use the factory one because I'm not sure if I want to go to a short shift yet. In between This is a nice base plate to have. This is their solid mount they've got. And what I mean by solid mount, the factory one, the swivet pivots here and here, and they tend to break. And it adds more looseness and feel. I know this will transmit more vibration into the car, but I know what I'm building my car for, so I'm not afraid of this. And once you replace to this, you'll never have to worry about it breaking. So I'm going to use the stock shifter with this, and it's supposed to crisping it up quite a bit because you get rid of some of the slop that feels as things moving around. Because this and this move around, even though this is bolted to this flops around a little bit. It allows it to move. So that's the one big upgrade. I spent the money on that. The next big one, and since I'm doing shifter stuff, I thought, and I love this stuff, is I ended up picking up, and I'm talking off camera here, guys. This is the energy suspension mount and stuff from BDE Engineering, or Brian Dempsey Engineering. Brett Engineering. Sorry about that. But this is his mount that he does with this. And this is a lot more solid. You know, he does recommend not putting this in unless you've got a better motor mounts, because a lot of the stuff starts going. So I'm going to feel more vibration in the car, but that's fine. And this is just a better mount than what the factory one has, because the factory one I have is garbage old. So I'm going to replace it. And since I already run Z1's polyurethane mounts on it, it's not a big deal. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to upgrade to the nice one and do that. So that's the big upgrade there for transmission upgrades. Now the next upgrade I'm doing, and I ordered them, they're not here, is a suspension component. It's for the front. It's the lower control arms. Now I'm getting the NISMO units, but these are refurbished. They don't sell them new anymore. They're gone. So I ended up getting, there's a gentleman who redoes them online, sells them on eBay. He's in the trade groups. He's on twinturbo.net. Does great stuff. I ordered a set from him. I'm going to replace those, and those are going to be fresh, new NISMO mounts, new ball joint, and fresh coat of paint. So they're going to look real pretty, real nice, and get them replaced. And then all the suspension components will be replaced except for the shocks. And on a big note there, because it's going to be a couple weeks, so I'll just wreck the surprise for everyone on there. I ordered up a set of Coney Yellows Sports. I'm doing that. I'm still looking at springs right now. I was really hoping to get the EBOC units, but they don't make them anymore. I tried sourcing them from a couple, I won't say shady websites, but thinking maybe there might have been an overstock left over on shelf. Can't find them. So now I am looking at doing other ways. I am actually looking, because I got a racing buddy of mine, he's like, why don't you try Hypercoil? And I'm doing that. I'm looking at the current factory spring rates, what they have, getting them measured to see if I can just order up a set of custom springs on it to see what I want. I still want that 3/4 of an inch drop on the car, maybe even up to an inch. Is perfectly acceptable for me. I don't want to go too hog wild. That's why I don't like the tines, because it's a rake stance, and I don't want that for autocross. I'd rather lower the car overall uniformly, because right now she's always front bias heavy. If I can help buy that up and not make it squat much in the rear, but lower it down just to center of gravity in general. And since I'll have new suspension components everywhere, it's the time to do that. My Coney Yellows, I just heard from, because I ordered those from Tire Rack. Nothing against Z1 or Concept Z. They were just cheaper, and they got free shipping on it, their website, and they're great to deal with. I mean, people buy tires from them. I got guys who race with them all the time. I mean, I've ordered stuff from them, so it's fantastic. The problem is they're back ordered, and I've got a feeling the stuff that's going on with our shipping stuff right now, there's stuff up in Montreal at the port dispute, there's stuff over on the East Coast of the port dispute, let alone the Suez Canal thing that's going on, which that shouldn't affect it. But they're just back ordered from the factory at the moment, so I'll get them hopefully in 2 weeks. That's a big if, I don't know. But I'm doing that. I'm going to get some type of springs. I haven't figured it out yet, the spring rates on it, because I want to make sure if I'm going to go a straight spring rate or progressive spring rates compared to what the factory is. I need to just do some measurements and do some calculations on doing that. I actually got to do the homework, the math on it, guys. So that's pretty much where I'm at. I know this is preview number 3 because I haven't started anything, but I actually have. I'm kicked myself out of the garage, my wife's van out of the garage, so I've got the whole garage to deal with right now for a little bit. As you can tell, the car's still in its hibernation spot because I got a bunch of parts I need to sell. And let me show you guys that behind me. I'm gonna be selling all this stuff behind me here, which is, let's see here. Let's do the rundown. I got these seats, need to go, they're way too big. I have a steering wheel I need to get rid of. Hopefully someone wants a Canon air filter, hard pipes. I don't want those. I got Z1 new, well, they're for PCV system. Rear shocks out the car. I'm gonna hang on to those, I think. This differential is a TT is going away. These axles will go away. These are TT axles. Those will sell for good money. I have the high cast unit. Someone may want that. I don't need it. I'm not gonna have it. So I'm gonna hang on to it for right now until someone needs it. The bracket that supports the diff, an E handle that I don't need, the emergency cable brakes, rear subframe, front steering rack that can be rebuilt. I mean, you could probably use it if you just redid the belts, but I'm not going to. The front kingpins, rear knuckles. I have a brand new in the box because I didn't use it because I ordered it without realizing what I was doing before I got into this really heavily. This is Power Trek's rear strut tower bar. Will not work on a convertible. You can, but you cut stuff. It's not worth it. There's another way of doing it. And then I have test pipes for that twin turbo over there. I'm not going to use. These are going to go away. These are stainless steel. They are BBPs, which should be billy boat pipes, which are really good, really nice stuff. I think they're 2.5 inch, 2 1/4, whatever fits those. Let's see here. What else is going on? I know this is kind of a long video, but not too much. As you can see, car's getting cleaned up behind me or the area. I'm going to be listing all this stuff here later today for online. I just need to work out some prices and get shipping information because some of the stuff I will ship, some of it I won't. Car seats I definitely won't ship. That's too much of a hassle. Rear subframe definitely won't ship, just like the differential. Because that's too much. It's too heavy, too big, too cumbersome. So I don't need it. Everything else I can pretty much ship. So it's all available. I just don't need them. What else is going on? I cleaned up other stuff around me on my work table. Oh, yeah. Forgot this. Right behind me on the ground here. I decided to bag up all the bolts I've got that I have. So this is every bolt, or most every bolt, that came off my parts car that used to sit there. That used to sit on this table over here, and I decided not to do that anymore. I wanted to get that cleaned up, get stuff prepped, because I'm going to start doing a lot of work, and once I dive into it, it's going to be a little bit. Because the suspension components aren't going to be too bad, but once I do the rear, it's going to be the whole rear. Once I do the front, it's the whole front. Once I work on the transmission, it's transmission. Once I replace the, I don't say replace the transmission. Once I start working on doing the stuff with the transmission shifter, I might as well drop the exhaust out of the way, get to that the tran mount, and put that in. Let's see. Anything else going on that I should be concerned with that you guys would want to know? I'm trying to get that light so it's not in your guys' way. Boy, I think that's about it. I know I haven't done too many updates on this, but the progress will start coming around here shortly on what's going on. The stuff I'm working on is big upgrade stuff, a lot of suspension components because I just want to get them before they're gone. Nothing against the Z32 platform. Everyone loves it and does it. Just some of the stuff's getting older. It's harder to find, stuff you want to deal with. You know, turbos are still there and all that jazz, but, you know, suspension components, interesting, unique things are just going away. Yeah. I mean, our cars, if you've seen it, are starting to come up in value quite a bit. I mean, they're nowhere near super territory, and I hope, as great as it would be to have one there, I can't justify having a $40,000 car sitting behind me. I've got other uses for money. I'd rather stay in that nice range where it's lower, although I have way more money dumped into that thing that I need to. But it's fun and it's enjoyable for me, and just like everybody else who owns a Nissan 300ZX. So I think we're going to end that video. I know it's only 14 minutes. I know it's a little long, but I just wanted to give you guys updates on what I'm planning on doing to the car again, what I've been doing, finally actually doing stuff, and working on. Just so you guys know too, I will be taking off those downpipes and getting rid of them because I don't need them. That might be actually a shorter video. Might be next week. I actually do that. I'm going to start working on that motor. Not that motor. That motor's bad. That's my ICE test block. That is my TT motor. I'm going to start maybe addressing some of the issues there that I'm going to need to start doing to put it into this thing. You know, we're doing the work. Like, I need to source new pipes because that's dented. Stuff like that. You know, I saw a bunch of oil down in here in this side. I need to take a look to see what's going on this engine. It's got good compression all the way around, but I need to go through and just clean everything up on it and start getting it going through. Because right now these solenoids and this bracket right here are gonna go away because I don't need them. But I'm afraid to get rid of the bracket because it's actually part of the water line that goes to the turbo. Which means if I get rid of this bracket, I need to replace it with something else for this line that comes from the turbo. So, and because it feeds here. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of research for myself to know how to modify that, which I know there's guys who have already done this. I am not the first of the game. I'm not the first guy to do this. So, all right, I think we're gonna end that video there, guys. I know it's long. Just wanna tell you what's going on, what I'm doing here, the projects I'm working on, and I'm gonna be selling and acquiring more parts. There are some other parts I want to get that are more dress up in the interior that I haven't gotten yet. Like I want to get the dual gauge pod for the driver's dash cluster right in there because I want to get my voltmeter in there, and I need a boost gauge at some point, which I'll get a boost gauge once I get the OLED from Gretty Prospect 2 or whatever they call that. I'll get one of those because I need a boost controller in this car. I also need a new standalone ECU. I might get a chipped one just to keep money cheap right now, as in just buy a can tune, which isn't the best. I understand that. That's completely acceptable to me, because I'm not sure what I want. If I want to go ECU master, there's a lot of different areas out here. Problem is, where I live here in the middle of Iowa, there isn't a lot of engine tuners around or dyno tuners to go do this, because everyone's like, well, just go to dyno tuner once. And I'm like, that's great. Closest dyno tuner I'm around is 2 hours away. I need to get the car there to be able to do that. So it needs to be able to run on something to get there. So I may end up buying a can tune and just drive the car with the manual boost controller on no boost, which is not going to run great, but will safely get there without hurting anything. But I still don't know what ECU to go get and what everyone would want to use. So, yeah, long story short and all that stuff. So, once again, my name is Z James. This is 32 Workshop. So, I would say work in the garage every day, but I'm not the guy who's doing that at the moment. I've got other stuff going on. So, all right, take care, everybody, and I'll see you in a week. Talk to you later. Bye.